Peace be upon you. News of an upcoming journey, maybe an invitation, someone's newfound interest for you or your abilities, or has an interesting offer or proposal to make. In other words, you're going to be asked, or some trips or traveling may be involved, not necessarily to relocate. It may be short trips or invitations to go out, etc. So you're going to be a bit in exploration mode. Money in reverse. A young lady in reverse. Dog in reverse. Hope in reverse. Gift in reverse. The Room. It's the same card, to clarify it. This one is reversed, you see. But in this sense, it's kind of the same energy, but this is rather more related to finances, utilities, bills, exchanges, contracts. Whereas this is to do with some form of self-isolation or focus on your own living space or environment, pondering, conversation, dialogue, meditation, and some form of a pursuit of some answers or clarity or seeking for healing, etc., but from a distance, right? So it's rather stagnant, whereas anything to do with money is what actually concerns you in regards to your financial situations. Both imply, in the past, some form of an imposed reclusion, restriction, stagnancy. You felt either powerless or lacking in opportunities and so on. Felt the pressure of time as well. Frivolity, lightheartedness, fleeting moments, enjoying the present moment, taking things a bit more lightly. Despair in reverse has to do with a cheating or a sense of betrayal or abandonment from a specific person or even authorities, father figures, and so on. The masculine, new energies incoming. When you release, when all hope is gone, which is actually happening now, you're coming into this energy. Acknowledgement of lack of loyalty, lack of actual genuine affection and friendship, some form of a betrayal. Someone is not thinking about you, does not care about you, and you acknowledging that. If you are hoping for a result, whereas you are, for example, the runner, or you were hoping for someone to, lose their mind and start chasing you, it didn't happen because there was no connection. So there's this clear loss of hope, as in putting an end to something, some form of an expectation. And it's obviously clarified, and it marks the beginning of new. So the moment you release a connection, a new one steps in. Friend in reverse, and the gift. If it's someone from the past that has done this to you and they attempt to reconnect, the whole point is for you to be able to realize that, wait a minute, I don't want this. I don't think I ever did. Yeah, someone who preaches well may appear to hold very strong values, but ultimately, yeah, it's a false preacher. Hypocrite energy. Fortune, destiny, prosperity and abundance is in the fleeting moment, in presence, enjoying the small things, smelling the flowers, the roses, as they say, gratitude, and so on. Falsehood, in reverse. Again, revelation of betrayal. If you felt you've been cheated or betrayed or lied to, is someone who disrespected you, definitely, had no appreciation for you as a person, generally speaking. Someone who may struggle with either addiction, mental illness, lack of ability to moderate their own emotions, and so either way, a very incendiary, problematic, impulsive, and even dangerous kind of a character. You may associate it with the Fool in its shadow mode in the tarot. And we have the Cat, which is feminine by definition, right? That is now completely, fully aware of the fact that this was not a friend. They were disrespected. They see the deceit for what it is, in other words. Because now she's wiser. Maturity, wisdom associated with the Empress. Good advice. Home in reverse. I believe you connecting with this is your message. You know that if you are hoping for someone to or something to happen, or someone to show up, or keep their word, maintain a promise, or look after you, or provide, or do what they promised to do, or didn't, it doesn't matter, it makes no difference. They couldn't provide the shelter, the safety, the stability, the family, and so on. There was nothing to be built here. So you're definitely moving on. In a practical sense, in more tangible kind of a sense, it simply means that you either overspent or lived beyond your means. You lost your ability to moderate your expense, etc. It may have to do with your attempt to actually try and be more in the present. It may have led to you, again, sitting stuck somewhere, isolated, and doing probably overspending beyond your means, right? And even though you knew it was wrong, well, you just did whatever you felt in the moment, right? You wanted to make yourself feel better about things, and so on. And that may have led ultimately to your current financial issues, which will lead to a necessity to make difficult choices. It's going to be a bit uncomfortable, but it is for the highest good. As in, you're going to have to move. So there's the possibility of either losing your rent, your home, property, if you're trying to sell, or this is the worst time for you to try and do so. You will lose. But there is a loss of a sense of stability, etc., that is detrimental, crucial, and marks ultimately the beginning of a new stage, which seems to be determined by this new arrival in your life. Pleasure seekers, careful about anyone coming from the past. It's temporary, maybe a fling. They may be asked to be someone's lover or someone on the side, and yep, you're going to be asked to be a lover. So you may be having to deal with someone who's either already married, engaged, has other responsibilities, and so on. Messages in writing, attempts for them to contact you, proposals or offers, even some gifts here and there, small gifts, etc. And you will feel stuck. So you will have a choice to make. There's a possibility for someone from your past to come back around right at the moment when you're actually ready to take your life back in your hands, own whatever happened, move on from it. This resolution has already been made. There's the persistence of someone who already betrayed you, who already showed lack of consideration, care, or respect towards you, whom you've actually not ever genuinely had much hope with to begin with, right? They may come back around, but just know that they're coming back around in search of some form of a pleasure, entertainment. It's just fleeting, it's temporary. They will not be able to provide sustenance, whatever attention or compliment or it's not a genuine gift, as in they're interested, they have ulterior motives, it's not sincere, etc. And the most important part about this is for you to realize that you yourself, at this point, you will feel it in your gut that you have absolutely no respect for this person. You know for a fact that they're not going to be a friend, and you will be tempted to refuse the said honors, offers, proposals. Their opinion will be completely irrelevant to you. You will fall on deaf ears. It will not touch or warm your heart. It makes absolutely no difference. So praise be the Most High, good for that. They're coming around for fun. You may even give them that fun and send them on their way, because again, you have a comparison now to make. There's a clear distinction in between this kind of an energy from the past and someone that actually is genuinely free, genuinely devotes time and attention and focus, shows their appreciation, their interest in a genuine manner, transparent, in full view. It's not something that's occulted, that's hidden, something to be ashamed of, or so it's a pure, genuine initial connection that's going to force you to finally see the boundaries that you set for yourself, your limitations, romantical and emotional wise. That's going to kind of reveal to you why you would choose to begin with unavailable or unloving partners, because you yourself are very restricted. You're not sure if you're either capable or ready to be in a relationship, if you have what it takes, if you're good enough, if you're young enough, etc. So now your shadow is going to play you on this other aspect. Now that it's revealed that I am my own worst enemy, I put boundaries for myself by constantly determining what I'm worthy, what I deserve, what I don't deserve, or rather allow others to do so. So hence the choice and the natural tendency to navigate towards partners that will disrespect you, will further on restrict you in some manner, put you in situations where you have to make serious compromises to challenge who you are with your set of values and etc. Right? They constantly challenge your own self-worth and so on, self-esteem, your perception of yourself. So on one hand, there's someone who genuinely honors you, and you're being asked to see yourself through their eyes rather than through the eyes of those who couldn't appreciate you. That's not a measure of who you are. It's not. You don't appreciate many people either. So maybe be honest about it. So why would you be attracted to someone that you don't genuinely respect? I believe you felt from the get-go that this was not really a relationship. Toxic patterns, connections out of trauma bonding, and so on. Oppressor, victim, prey, predator, abuser, abused, right? The victimhood state has got to go. So, you're going to receive someone's offer. Someone is going to express their intentions towards you. Their genuine intentions towards you. Someone is going to actually seek to meet you, to make sure that they deliver that in the proper manner. Whereas someone else may seek other ways, either online or from a weird number, or either, something like Messenger, WhatsApp, whatever, emails. Those are the people that you should distrust. Anyone else would be, again, in the light of day. They will reveal. They see you as extremely mature, wise. As someone younger than you. And you're going to be stuck in this dilemma. Am I ready for this change? Have I ever truly been ready now that you've assessed your previous choice in partners, etc.? Of course you are. Bottom of the deck, service in reverse. There was a sort of a nature, an attitude rather, a behavior that you had towards the opposite sex here that seems to have presented itself as ever so servient and humble, and but there was some level of deception, or in the sense of, for some reason you felt you needed to humble yourself beyond what was actually either required or necessary for you to do. So others saw you either spineless or with no character, or someone who is unable to kind of define herself, someone who doesn't know who she is, or limits, or values and so on, who doesn't know what she wants, that is absolutely dependent on a man, and you've manifested men that absolutely prey on that. The woman that has no means or goals, or is broken, or has been victimized, or no direction, no sense of self-worth, and so on. So that's how you appeared to others, because of this tendency to ever be at the service of someone. You didn't even, they didn't feel as if they were any more worthy than anyone else, because there's no selection process going on. You are like this just generally, and it gives off that sense of self-sacrifice and victim mentality, lack of self-worth, and people are prone to want to exploit that. People with the tendency or the nature to attempt to do so. So you appeared as weak, and even superficial, and lacking in substance or character. Hence, they couldn't treat you with respect. This is also the bad servant, in the sense that they may say one thing, they know how things should be done, but they seem to either overdo it or do it with frustration, with some form of an expectation. It stems from the wrong place. It may stem again from this sense of lack of self-worth, and others feel it and say, if you don't appreciate yourself, how am I supposed to? So you gave a lot, and you constantly receive the opposite in return. Surprise, expect the unexpected, because your expectations seem to always be misplaced, let's just say. They stem from, again, a gentleman, a protector, provider, someone who's already well established. They are younger than you, but not for too much. They wear some form of an attire or specific clothing, or have a style that they would wear for work. They can be a CEO, they can also be a professor, a teacher. I'm looking to see any elements in here, and I'm going to tell you. Cups, yeah, water. Again, a teacher, an artist, a very creative, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. That comes to literally shift your perspective, open your heart again, genuinely. I don't think it ever truly was open. I believe you loved with fear. You loved with a sense of depth. You loved with a sense of unworthiness. And that's exactly what others have shown you. Disrespect, lack of not seeing your worth, accusing you of being this or that, weak or dishonest, or to some extent they were kind of true. You didn't even like the people. Why did you feel you needed to polish their shoes, stroke their egos, overdo it, sacrifice? That sometimes also, for any man that respects themselves, would never allow a woman to over-sacrifice. Especially there where it's their job to take care of something, or they would never accept that. Never. If they have any sense of self-worth themselves, right? So I guess, again, that's what connected the two of you, except it translated differently. For them, that lack of sense of self-worth translated in that kind of joker, anti-hero, kind of rebellious, etc. whereas for you, it turned into the exact opposite. The ever humble, the ever serving, the ever everybody's, carpet at the mercy of other people's opinions, choices, whether they're powers that be, whether it's the world, whether it's God, whether it's destiny, whether it's their own family, the pain, the unhealed trauma, or the very people that they love or they're trying to conquer with humility and self-sacrifice. It wasn't self-sacrifice, you see, that's the whole point. Self-sacrifice is a genuine, sincere gesture that's done in full understanding of the price to pay and what for, and it can only be considered as such when it's done for those who cannot do for themselves, for the helpless, for the right, and when there's a genuine heart and wish to do so. It's unconditional love ultimately. It's the ultimate proof of it. And here this love was not unconditional. It was rather more transactional, except again it was made in some form of a trauma where both of you stood at what appeared to be opposite ends, as enemies or antagonistic or clashed, or but in reality you had a lot more in common than you would like to admit. They just had the opposite approach to it. You thought if you were just humble enough. There's a saying here that says the bowed head doesn't get cut, as in if you bow your head it doesn't get cut. Well, I would beg to differ. There was a time when that was exactly what was necessary in order for someone to cut it. So the moment you bow it, there may be someone standing ready to just cut it up and have it rolling on the ground. So to cut the head also means to literally separate spiritual wise from the crown, from the center, from the source. So what you see wasn't true. What you felt, you saw, it wasn't true. The smell may have participated. It turned toxic, addictive, and so on. The smell of the other person, for example, have pheromones. It all translated in the lower chakra, but in energy centers. But spiritual wise, the cut head is literally you being disconnected from your crown, from your divine authority invested in you. Your freedom, your power, your strengths that come along with your responsibilities, destiny, purpose. You were disconnected from all of it. In your mind, speaking of, it was all about self-sacrifice, as in seeking for that miracle. Well, it's about to arrive, but not because of something you did. It arrives when you're ready, when the heart is ready to receive it. When you went through all the other trials and you're ready to leave past selves, past challenges, etc. behind. Anyway, whatever. If it makes sense to you. July. Cancer energy. You may be dealing with a Cancer. Or Leo. Depends. I strongly feel rather transition into summer, spring into summer. So Cancerian rather. 7. Yes, Cancerian, I feel. And the bouquet? Accept it. You're ready. A stubborn, aggressive person. Someone may actually not give up on you that easily. Someone seems to still consider you because they see you in that old perception they had of you. Getting together with friends. The connection you're going to feel is the right person, the new person in your life. Because again, they genuinely treat you with respect. They're curious, they're interested, they're happy to see you. The same like children, the first time they meet, right? It starts with that friendship. Obstacles to overcome, small gestures, gifts, someone putting effort in, and the obstacles, the mountains and so on to overcome. Someone will gossip all about the secret, the parrot. Someone seems to repeat the same patterns, the same words. If the moment you recognize them, cut. You may be dealing with someone with strong Aries or Again, Leo over there, some Sagittarian energy. Whereas the new person has rather Cancer, Virgo, strong earth and water. You can build with that. Again, they were extremely fruitful and productive when it comes to practical manifestation. Very hardworking, humble, intuitive, loving and generous, loved by all. And family sorrow, the 3. Situation in the balance that then require careful handling. You're going to have to take a leap. Someone definitely is not going to let you go that easily, as in they're frustrated. Yeah, feeling tied down or frustrated, the tie. You feel that your destiny has already been written, and that's fine. Once you know it, remember, you can either go with it peacefully or forcefully. You decide. Strong emotion. Again, you're dealing with someone with strong fire in the chart that is in that kind of a toxic and hate and love, basically. Powerful ego, speaks foolishness, not educated or in pursuit of either truth or knowledge or deeper meaning of life, or no. They just want to bond or tie someone to them as long as they see use, right? And use in that. And they may have a different approach coming back around, which is victimhood, which is the very thing that connected the two of you to begin with. You saw good in them because you decided to see what they could have been if they were to not have succumbed or have been broken by the trials that they've failed at, basically. They're the ones that proclaim victory in utter and complete failure, in complete desolation. There's no victory there. Weeping Willow is by the water, a meeting or an encounter somewhere by either a lake, river, an area with much moderate to high humidity amidst hills, and so therefore various or diversified terrain, very peaceful and serene, some form of retreat to do with nature, etc. Very beautiful. Take this offer and recognize this other one. Too much talking won't do you any good. If someone comes back for clarity, try and keep it short, because if you need to go back on the same old, nothing's going to change. Understand that whatever they're offering you is transactional, and it comes with some bond or tie, or they're either going to try. This is the authoritarian kind of an Aries, the father master, right? That's going to impose things on you one way or the other. Again, this time they're going to appeal to your more sensitive side, compassionate side. They're probably going to tell you about their family drama, what they're going through, etc., which is always such a gift, and it's beautiful. But does that mean what's it to you, as in what do you have to do with that? And then they may go on to actually speak nonsense or ill about others, accuse others. Of course, no one. They're never to blame. Everyone else is, right? And they're gonna definitely reveal themselves as immature, accusatory, even disrespectful, ill-informed, lacking in objectivity, inability to carry out a dialogue. It's just repetition. So this is someone who's highly indoctrinated or conditioned, therefore is currently has a very limited spiritual, intellectual, or emotional or social intelligence-wise, very restricted in that sense. They're hot-headed, they jump to conclusions, quick to judge, lie a lot, deceive themselves and others a lot. They may hold actual very powerful abilities and but they're not the ones that are going to actually be able to use them properly as they were intended to. So they have this beautiful talent of, you know, managing to make the impossible seem so easy, brings hope and a spark of light, etc. Like, I don't know, allowing you to fill a bucket with milk, as we say here, and then kicking it and laughing about it. That's the kind of, so the frustration has to exist wherever this person exists. They will always push against you, push people in a corner, limit, restrict them, define them, label them, use them, manipulate them, delegate, hold accountable or responsible. But they, no, never. They can do no wrong. So this is the type that speaks a lot, gives out orders, etc., likes to know everything about everyone, uses words to either hurt, condition, manipulate, test other people, and so on. And there's many ways to do that. The grasshopper also reminds us about sometimes roaming mindlessly from one event or page or relationship or mindset or emotion to another, without an actual clear idea of the course of action, the goal, or we just do it because it's instinctive. We take leaps without a purpose, without clear understanding of why we do it, and so on. And yeah, it may mask as being spontaneous, as being able to detach from just intellect and allow and concede the potential for miracles to happen, which is beautiful. But you jump, you never know where you fall or you land, right? It's kind of a liberating, less control, less, but yeah, it's just kind of mindless ultimately. And the grasshopper usually has to exist in some form of a micro community or environment, or if she's isolated, she will ramble aimlessly until she will die. So careful handling means, at this point, give more importance to the things that truly are important to you. Take them seriously. With a light heart, but seriously, as in do not leave the mind altogether out, because God can also speak in the mind now that you've healed and integrated certain traumas emotionally, energetically, burned out certain karmic aspects that needed to be burned out, defeated some inner demons or outer or whatever. So now it's time for you to see the obstacles, but with a new perspective, with a new approach. Is it rather more adventure? Hey, here's the new chapter. What should I fear? Especially when you have your people by your side. Many blessings. May you be healed, sealed, guided, and protected on your path. Choice is yours. The mirror. The moment you will actually meet this person again from your past, if they don't come, maybe if you're still stressing about it, maybe you should go find them. You will now see that they no longer reflect. You don't no longer resonate with them. You thought you saw a you in them that is not there. You were hoping that they would see it in you, right? That connection. And it never happened. Why? Because you weren't one to begin with. There was no connection in the heart. It was mere fire, passion, lust, addiction, trauma, pain, anger, resentment. So it triggered your shadow work, basically, the dark night. And now you found the light. It's someone from a different culture. Your person is someone from a different culture. It's definitely a foreigner. Well-traveled, well-spoken, genuine, authentic, sincere. At a state of their life, you may actually still be connected by loss and sadness, but it's all alchemized, processed. You're not connecting out of trauma. You're connecting out of that decision to finally continue the journey. You're going to be a bit reluctant, But ultimately they do come to heal. They may also be a professional, a specialist of some sort. They're very well versed in anything to do with the sciences, psychology, extremely intelligent. Again, strong water in their chart. Earth and some air. Virgo, Cancer, Leo for the new person. Gemini or Aquarius. No, Gemini or Libra. Oh, another Libra possibly. Yeah. As for the foe, the enemy, she's the Queen of Wands. She's the dark moon energy that needs to kind of implode at one point. Transformation occurs from within, hence the element of fire. Anger, resentment is the unexpressed passion, the unexplored passion, the lack of forgiveness, clarity, understanding, or healing. The lack of love, genuinely. And you're right. You've received no love. No genuine love from another being. Healing is necessary. But now you know what love is not. You've learned it yourself by constantly trying to learn how to love others. And now it's time to allow others to love you. So, accept wise advice. Someone very mature again. A bit younger than you, but not necessarily any less wiser. And yeah, that's it. Okay, control your anger, you will be sorry. There may be also hormonal imbalances and so on. Do not be triggered, do not react. As for the person from your past, whatever they offer is binding, highly expensive. First and foremost, you don't need it. This is a person that you absolutely no longer have anything to do with. They were never whiner, drama queen or king or whatever, constantly jumping randomly from one thing to another. They have no course, no nothing. It may be true that they're currently suffering. They're trying to move to the next degree, but they're trying to grasp onto you, or rather to tie you to them in order to feed off of you. Now that's very predatory, it's parasitical almost. And the only parasitical relationship we will ever have that is an elevated kind, it's in between a mother and a child in her womb. No other is allowed, so especially in between partners. Shalom.